Hello, welcome back. I'm not even gonna say the parts. I don't. I can't. I don't even remember. I'm just gonna say welcome back to talking to myself. It's been a while since I've last done one of these. Mostly because I've done it before, but I haven't liked how they turned out. So I ended up deleting them, and then I do it again, and then I don't like that either, and I delete it. And then it's just been a minute, and it's been a minute since I've like really felt like talking or saying anything. So yeah. But with the new year, well, happy, what is it, 26, 26? Ooh, 2026. Goodness gracious, that's crazy. It's been a hot minute. When I say that, I mean, it's just like time is really going. When you think back to like 10 years ago, you're like, wow. Because you think of like moments when it's like when you're in high school or when you went to college and stuff like that, and like the year, and like that is like, oh wow, it's so much later. Like, wow, so much has changed. I know I have changed quite a bit as a person, which I'm really happy about. Like, I've really, like, when I reflect on myself sometimes, I really take into account like how I used to be and how I am now, and it's just like, wow, I'm proud of myself to be able to say that I've grown quite a bit as a person. And you know, to me. That was nice. Sometimes you gotta do that. Cause I mean, I don't really. I mean, a good amount of y'all probably have somebody to do that for you or whatever. But hey, sometimes you don't, and that's okay. Honestly, I'm always trying to get back into reading more, and the reason why it's not hard for me to read, but it's like I tend to like creating a specific like vibe. And when I say I like to create a vibe, I mean like when I wake up, specifically when I wake up in the morning. When I wake up in the morning, I like, getting myself a nice cup of coffee, having a nice book, sitting down. I'm comfortable in my comfy clothes. I've got nowhere to be, nowhere to go. I can spend as much time as I want reading or not. I have all the time in the world to do as I please. And yeah, I just like creating that vibe. I have like a turn on the light, I have that warm glow, and just enjoy myself, get lost in the book, escape reality. And it's just nice. So I like creating that vibe. And so like that's why I tend to feel the need to only read in the mornings. Like I don't know why. I just do. Unless it's a really, really, really good book that's just juicy. Like I recently read well, I mean it was sometime last year. It was around the beginning of December, I think, or November at the end, somewhere around there. Either way, it was a dark romance. It was juicy. It was nice. It was just what I needed. One of my guilty pleasures is definitely reading dark romances. If you don't know what a dark romance is, it's a romance novel, but it has like dark elements to it, like I don't know if I should say this. Just Google dark romance novels and a list will appear. like I don't. But yeah, and like you adjust. The more I would say, here it is. I'm gonna give you a recommendation to start off. You're a beginner dark romancy person. Read Lights Out by Navessa Allen. Navessa Allen. It's called Lights Out. You might have heard about this already if you haven't or seen on social media. Definitely check it out. I recommend that. I think that's a good. Actually, I have the book. Let me. Forgot I bought the book. But this right here, this book, if you have seen this, yeah, this is a very good read. I would highly recommend this for like kind of like I would say this is a beginner's romance, because if you have regularly read dark romances like I have throughout the years, like I read it before they got popular, so like I'm desensitized to certain things, so like sometimes the dark romance aren't dark enough, and that's when you gotta get like real dark. Those are for the advanced dark readers. But no, yeah, I recommend if you've never read a dark romance before, I highly recommend this one for like a beginner, just to get you off the ground. But anyways, and it's so good too. It's so good. I definitely need to reread this. I'm trying to wait a minute so like I can kind of forget. I won't forget some stuff, but it's been a minute. You know what I mean? Type stuff. Ooh, and definitely read the epilogue. The epilogue is epic, and I mean epic. Like it was like. I was jaw-dropped. This epilogue in this book at the very end is just fantastic. Like it's like, wow, wow. Like it's giving peak couple goals. Like seriously, it's like giving peak couple goals. But anyways, That's just my opinion, though. I don't know. You know, some people are very vanilla. Whatever. I'm just saying. I decided that this year I was going to read books that were on the game. If you've never played the game, I've been into cozy games recently, and one of the cozy games that I just started playing last night is called Tiny Bookshops, and they have it's like a, you know, you own a little bookshop on the go, like it's like a, you know, on the go, like a little trailer bookshop, you know, on the go. I just started, like I just started last night. Like I've played maybe not even an hour of it, 30 minutes maybe, and it's a good game. I'm not saying I only played it because of that. It's because I want to play something else, but I want to check it out. But the books on there are like a majority of them, I would say probably a good 90% of them I've heard are actual books like in real life that you can read. So I was like, you know, like that's not a bad New Year challenge. I did look up the book list, and they said it was like over 300, especially since they just added more with their recent winter update. And I was like, ooh, I mean, yeah, it would be a challenge to read 300 plus books in a year, but like, I'm just gonna read. I may make it a 2-year challenge. Like, either way, I think I'll just do it where it's just like, if I don't know what else to read one of the books on the list. You know what I'm saying? Or just, you know, make a point to. And so I say that to say one of the books on there is The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexander Dumas. Now, this book, I actually started reading this at the beginning of December. I saw this one person on social media. He had mentioned this, and I was like, what is that thick book? You know, like, because I haven't read a thick book in a hot minute. Like the last time I read a thick book, like this was like probably in high school. Like it's been a minute I've read a thick book. But anyways, so I was like, what is that? And then so he said it was like the Count of Monte Cristo by Alexander Dumas. And so I didn't really read much of the summer. I was just like, let me see if it's at the library, because, you know, I'm being more intentional with my library collection, like especially when I've been going through it, when I move and go through my books. I have a lot of books that I was just, I mean, you get from your high school years and middle school and stuff like that I still have, and I was just like, no, I didn't really care for this one. Oh, I didn't really like that. And it's like, it's making me want to be more intentional with what books I do buy. I want to be able to look at my collection and say, these are all books I absolutely adore. And so that's why I've been more intentional with, I want to read it before I purchase it, you know, which is why I'm like, okay, if I want to read this book, let me see if I can find it in the library. And only like certain books that I feel like I will really, really like, will I feel like, all right, let me purchase this. I want to read it, the physical version, you know? So I checked the library. They do have it. They had it, obviously. They have it because it's a classic. It is a classic. I love my library. Like, I went there today to get some more books and to renew this. But I love my library. Like, I like libraries in general. I always had when I was younger. Like, that was like an exciting time for me. Go, and my parents were like, oh, we're gonna take you to the library, get books for the summer. Best time ever. Like, I love the library. I don't know, it's just such a vibe, you know what I mean? And like, it makes me think like, man, if I ever get some like large chunk of change, let me tell you, see, I feel like rich people don't really know how to spend their money or something. I don't know. It's just, they know how to make money, but spending it, I don't really, because let me tell you, when I say, if I had a lot of money, I would build a house. And let me tell you, when I say I would have a library, ooh, it's giving Beauty and the Beast library, okay? Okay, probably not that big, because I still wanted to have a nice little cozy vibe, kind of a little you know what? You see how cozy this is? That's how cozy I want my library to be, all right? It's just a cozy vibe, you know? But it would still be like fairly large, you know what I mean? And like, the thing is, I would probably like create a large list, because I don't want just a library full of books I've read. What fun is that? I don't know, maybe I would just, you know, just make a list of books I wanted to read and stuff like that, and then go and pick them up and spread them somewhere. I won't even put genres. I'll just spread everything out on different shelves. And it'll be like a surprise. Oh, this is it'll be so nice. I'll have like a whole coffee bar set up or something like that, with the espresso machine area in my library. Obviously far away from the books, you know, but like, you know, it's just plenty of warm lights and stuff, and maybe we got a little few plants. Well, probably not plants, actually. Probably not plants. But yeah, somewhere by a window, you know, where I can like have that nice solar light like this coming in while I'm reading. Ugh. That'd be so nice. Oh my gosh. When I think about my library, childhood library, I've liked it. It's been nice. Like, it was pretty. Although I only went to the kids section area. I've never been in the other area because I was a kid, obviously. But yeah. And then what? My college, when I was in college, yeah, that library, it was very nice. It was very nice. And they had a coffee shop or it was like downstairs. And that's where I worked throughout college. Mostly because, I don't know, I was bored. Working there was like, it was just nice. It was, I mean, kind of not, because the pay was horrendous. It was so bad. Like, it was not, like, it was bad. Like, when I think back to how much I was making, I was like, oh, they are taking advantage of college students for real. Like, this is horrible. What is wrong with you people? Goodness gracious. But anyways, no, it was just, it really set the vibe for like what jobs I want. And it's like, you can't find the same thing in the real world. I mean, you probably can somewhere, but let me set the scene. So it's like, it's a nice coffee shop, you know. It can get busy, mostly, especially like during midterms or finals. So busy, not even funny. But like for the most part, it's pretty fairly chill. You know, my managers was always cool, you know, chill. And like they were like, yeah, you know. And every time I came in, I get a free drink. Like, hey, it was like maybe like employees wise, it wasn't a whole lot, obviously, because it was fairly small. But like, go there and get a free drink, you know, stuff like that. And then like, you know, if I was working, you know, and I was hungry, they're like, yeah, you can grab you, because we sell like muffins, pastry and stuff. And I was like, this is how it should be. The hell is wrong with people? Ugh. Like, this is how, or like if it was the end of the week, like a Friday, and you know, we were closed for the weekends, and which I think we were, yeah, closed for the weekend. And then, you know, oh, the food was about to expire. Oh, you could take some home, or what do you want, and throw the rest away, because we were gonna throw it out anyway. Now, I mean, usually, I don't know if they were loud, but like I said, my manager was fairly chill. And then that's the worst part is like, you know it can happen. They just don't want to. For whatever reason, they just don't want to. They just don't want to. They just don't want to. I'm not specifically talking about the expired food, because I know like, oh, because they don't want people to sue them. But again, you can also just, the same way when you're doing things that are, you know, could injure you, like rock climbing or whatever, they have you sign a waiver. They can also sign sign this waiver that says you can eat this expired food, but you can't sue us. Like, you can do that. Just same way. Like, but they just don't want to. Extra paperwork, blah, blah, blah. Like, come on. I think the only thing I came close to that was when I was working at Starbucks, and they allow you to have like 7 food items a week, you know, 1 per day or whatever, and then you can get a drink, you know, on your break, a free drink on your break, whatever, which is nice. That's as close that I come to like that. Everybody else got issues, but yeah, no. But and then probably like what places I've worked that provide snacks, you know, that do that. That's been nice. I mean, depending on what snacks are, you know, some be tripping, but yeah. But no, yeah, like that provides snacks. That's great and stuff like that. But yeah, no. And I know like people are like, oh well, the companies, they don't have to do that and all the other stuff. I'm like, people defend companies far too much. Goodness gracious, people are so weird. They're so weird. Why are you defending this company that does not care about you, honey? I promise you they don't. Ugh. But hey, that's a whole, people ain't got none. Some people just, they like to feel like they're a part of something. They like to feel, I don't know. I don't even know. But it is what it is. Because people act like rules are made up by somebody and it benefits somebody and it puts other people at a disadvantage. Like, somebody has made up all these things, darling. Okay? People act like these have been set in stone since the beginning of the universe. No, okay? Somebody makes up these rules, and a lot of times it's just to benefit other certain individuals, not because it's for the good sake of everybody, okay? Come on now. Goodness gracious. Let's think here. Let's think. So one of the reasons why I have been kind of reluctant to do these types of things is because I don't know if like the imposter syndrome is taking over, or if just like, I know like that like sometimes my opinions can be either harsh or judgmental or like critical and stuff like that, insensitive. Yeah, I know, but you know, it's some people need to hear it. Some people need to hear it like that. Actually, a good amount of people. So either way, I've been like kind of reluctant, because it's just like, oh, some people might not like this, some people might not like that. And like this year, I gotta come to terms with the fact that it don't matter what you say, what you do, people will find any reason to not like this or to not like that, to like this or to like that. Like it's whatever it is, you know. Sometimes it just is what it is, and I have to get to nobody has said, I'm not saying that anybody has said anything to me, but I'm just specifically saying it's in my mind. It's things that I think people wouldn't like to hear, you know what I'm saying? But like at the end of the day, you know, especially sometimes when I'm scrolling on social media, There are people on here that are saying whatever, you know what I'm saying, whether people like it or not. And I'm like, you know what? I need to be more like you, okay? I need to stop being so, because this is something that I've had issues with, like, even in the past and even just in general within myself when it comes to socializing with other human beings. It's been a long journey to get where I am now, okay? Because way back when, my social anxiety used to be through the roof, especially in college. Don't even, oof. My social anxiety was too, the worst part is I didn't know what it was. All I know is I just kept feeling so nervous and anxious when I had to socialize. Like, even just saying hi made me just, it stressed me. Even if I knew the person, it just stressed me out. It just stressed me out so much to the point where I don't even say hi. I just ignore them. Like it's just like, ugh, you know, and I don't mean, it's just, or like when they say hi first, it's like, okay, hi. And to this day, sometimes I get so anxious about it. And like, especially on days when I don't feel like talking. There are times, more especially because I talk every day, Monday through Friday, to somebody, you know, at work. And it's like, sometimes I want to just go to work and go home and I don't want to talk to none of you. You know, or even just, it's not that I don't want to talk to you. If we just say, hi, how are you? Oh, that's great. Boom. End it right then and there. Good to go. But sometimes I sort of, sometimes I just don't be feeling like socializing with anybody. Like, I really don't. Like, it's not and that's why I have a hard time maintaining friendships. I've noticed like that. I think in the past I've had a hard time maintaining them because like sometimes I just don't want to hang out and don't want to do this. But like in order to build that friendship, you kind of have to, you know, hang out a lot and do things like that in order to maintain it and talk and stuff like that. And sometimes I don't feel like it. I really genuinely don't. Sometimes I don't feel like leaving the house. Sometimes I don't like it. And it's not just like, oh, one time. It can go on for a few weeks, actually. I do tend to isolate myself. I don't know. It can be difficult. I don't know. I have gotten better with my social anxiety, though. It's not as bad anymore. And I think that helps because I'm more confident in myself than I once was. Like, my self-esteem is higher than it once was. All that used to be very low. Like, honestly, within the past few years, you know what I mean? And just this past year recently, I've been really, like, trying to, like, up there, you know, on trying to, like, love myself. I know we're, you know, that's been a little icky. It's in social media, everybody's saying that or whatever, but like I really have been trying to do that. And this is by doing these talking to myself is also, you know, helping me in a way to, it's not maybe not the standard socializing, but like kinda. That's right. I was talking about the library. Yeah, I really like I forgot what I was talking about. No. Yeah, I really like oh gosh. Yeah, going back to that. Forgot. But yeah, no, I really like the library that I go to. It's really nice. I love a nice library. I just wish it was more like cozy, comfy, you know, where I can get comfortable. And that's like one of the main reasons why as much as I would like to set a vibe and go to a coffee shop or a library and sit and read or whatever, I'm just not comfortable. Like, I'm not comfortable being outside of my home usually. I'm not. That's probably one of the reasons I don't like going to other people's houses. I can't stand going to other people's houses. I have, and it's just, I don't like going to other people's houses. I don't. I just really don't. Like, I'm not comfortable there. And I know you can't always be comfortable. Anyways, yeah, and so I just can't get like really comfortable because I'll be in the library, you know, it's cold, and in the coffee shop, people are just talking and it's not quiet, and it's just, it's all these distractions essentially. It's all this is distracting. Even the library is cold. It's distracting because it's cold. That's honestly about it. And I know it's because the books need to be kept at a certain temperature. Like, I understand that, but and then I just be cold, and then I be thinking about all the people that's touched these seats. Ugh. I like the library a lot. It's such a nice vibe. I just do. It's so nice. It's probably like my favorite place I like to be at is the library, and then the second is probably the coffee shop. Although I have decided that I would like to back off my consuming caffeine. I don't drink that much coffee. I drink maybe like 1 or 2 cups every morning, every day. But I would like to back that off even more. Just I don't know, just cause I can, just cause I don't really wanna be healthier per se, but I feel better, you know what I mean? Like, I've been eating better recently, like a lot of kale. I like kale a lot. I didn't realize I like kale, but I like the taste of it. And then, you know, eating tofu. Whoever says tofu doesn't have a flavor, they're lying. Tofu 100%. Y'all need to work on your palate, okay? Your tongue palate, your palate. You need to work on it because tofu 100% has a taste. It tastes like what it is, which is soy. Like, it tastes what it tastes like. What do you mean it doesn't have a flavor or a taste? Yes, it does. Now, if I can just incorporate exercise, that's what be getting me. Because I'm just, I mean, I'm like most people. I don't like exercising. I just don't. And it's just, and I want to like it, but I don't. I don't. And I've noticed that like a long time ago, like, I just don't like exercise. I think that what I would like is to exercise by like games, like maybe like sports or stuff like that, like basketball or like tennis or like other stuff. I think that's what I would like in terms of being able to exercise wise, to get my body moving just through those types of things. But I mean, I can't. I mean, it's not that I can't, but I just, there's tennis courts, but it's like, so I just imagine myself like just with a tennis ball, because I'll be by myself just, and then I gotta go and get it, and then I do it again. Just, I don't know, at that point it feels kind of pointless. Maybe I should try badminton, maybe. Like, you know, where you see that in the movies where they be having like the wall or something, and they be, you know, maybe I should try that.